Welcome everyone to our meeting number 5 for section 1308. And maybe some of the students from the other section 1309. So this is our meeting 5, and we only have one meeting left, which is meeting 6. This week also will be quiz 5 on Saturday, and I guess the last quiz, as you can see from the LMS. We are going to the LMS also to check about any updates on the LMS. As you can see, I'm going to share the screen from the web browser. So every time you should go to the LMS and check for any updates. As you can see here, there are some review about the course, about the quality of the education environment. You can do this at home. For the course, yes, 170. We have quiz 5, and it will be due to 14th of November. And we have 4 days left. The material will be about meeting number 5, which is today's meeting. You are familiar with all the steps for the quiz. We'll go to the final exam. As you can see here, there is a date for the final exam. You look for the section you are from. So let's say 1308. You can't find the timetable. Yes, 1308 on 16th of December 2020, and it will be from 12:30 to 2:30. Do you have any email related to the final exam? Do you receive any email for that? Have you received any email related to the final exam?
About TU, not yet.
Okay. What about other courses? Did you receive any email related to the final exam, whether it will be in the university or online?
Yes, the email said that it's going to be in the university.
So we suppose that this module, this course also would be at the university because of the time limit, as you can see, from 12:30 to 2:30, and this look like it is at the uni. So you go to the uni. If you want to look at the time, there is another way to find the place for the AOU. You can go to the main page for Arab Open University and go to exams. As you can see, exam schedule. That screenshot in the LMS was taken from this website. So you go to online exams schedule. We usually have multiple choice exam for this course at the uni, and it should determine the labs. So we go to student Riyadh male, for example. So as you can see here, I don't know, TU, yes, TU. Yes, as you can see, 1308 from 12:30 to 2:30, and you can see here it is in lab 4. So the exam will be in lab 4 at the university. These are for students in Riyadh. Is there any student outside Riyadh?
Yes,
I
in
am from
Jeddah.
Jeddah.
Okay,
Yes,
you can
and
go
me.
back and find Jeddah, male or female. Also, male, for example, this is for male. You go down. This is TU, or here 1308. 1308.
Last one.
There is 1 and 2. I don't know what's the meaning of 1 and 2.
No, what mean, doctor?
Sorry, is there anyone has 13081 or 13082?
What different?
I think it's for splitting the students.
Anyway, it is in the same time for Jeddah. Maybe they have a lot of students from Jeddah, so it is the same time from 3 to 5, but different labs, 2 labs.
Doctor, I think because
Yeah.
because the classes is small.
Okay. Anyway, for students from Jeddah, you look for lab 3 and 4. The same
Doctor,
time here.
excuse me.
Yes.
What about students from other cities like Hail?
Yes, you can go back from the website and find the student, whether female or male. For example, Hail, female. You can find the timetable here, TU170, and here is your section, for example, or this one, and this is the time, 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. and the lab will be in F lab 3 for Hail branch. So you just look for your branch and find the course you are looking for, then your section, then you can determine the date and the time for all the students. Also for students from, I think, maybe, is there any student from outside Saudi Arabia? Okay, that's it for the exam. You can find the timetable for the exam from here. It is, I think it is better than the screenshot from the LMS, because here is only maybe for Jeddah students and only male students. It depends, maybe each student has different screenshot. You can check whether, and it is better to check with the link here, the exams from the main page, the exam schedule from the main page. I can copy the link and paste it in the chat. You can find your timetable from there, or you can go just to Google and go to the home page, then go to exam schedule. Then you find your timetable. Any question about the final exam timetable?
Sorry, doctor, I don't see the date. Next month, right?
On December, I guess. Yeah.
December. Okay, thank you.
Mostly on December. Most of them, I think 16. I think all the sections are going to do the exam on the same day, which is 16th of December. So you only now have one meeting left other than today's meeting. So we'll do meeting number 5, and in 2 weeks' time you will have the last meeting, which is meeting number 6. And I guess you didn't have any quiz for that meeting. This week quiz will be the last quiz, and then you will do the final exam. Okay, any question for the course, the exam? Yes?
Is the final exam will be the same way as the quiz?
Yes, multiple choice, but wider than the quiz. So you will have a lot of questions to solve.
Okay.
But still, you have multiple choice questions.
Mr. Mansour,
Yes.
so for the quizzes, we only study the meetings. As
Yeah,
for the exam, should we study both the smart book and
yeah, you should do for all of them, actually, because sometimes you have questions in the quiz from the book. You might have these questions, but you know, this course is about basic information technology. So sometimes you can figure the answer by yourself. It is very basic. That's why sometimes you don't think about the question, whether it is from the meeting or from the book.
yes, but the quizzes all were sufficient to the meetings only.
That's a good thing. I didn't type the quizzes, but for the final exam, you have to take in considering the electronic book.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Mansour.
Okay. Shall we start the meeting so we can finish early?
Go ahead, Doctor.
Okay. So today we will talk about meeting number 5. As you can see, it is all about 4 chapters. The first chapter will be about communications and networks, how communications work in information technology, and how information technology comprehensive with the networks, how they deal with each technology to deliver information, to deliver any function. The second chapter will be about artificial intelligence, how applications used in information technology, how these applications can interact with the user and in an artificial intelligent way. The third chapter will be about wholeness of big data, what is big data, and conventional data, also what are the difference between them. And the last chapter will be about wholeness of data analytics, how data being analyzed through information technology. So let's start with the communications and networks. In this chapter, we will explain connectivity, how the wireless revolution came on, and how communication system types going in information technology. Also, we will describe the physical and the wireless communication channel, how information technology can communicate through physical or wireless communication channels. Also, we will differentiate between connection devices and services like dial-up, DSL, cable, satellite, and cellular. Also describe data transmission factors, how data transmission could be affected, including the bandwidth and the protocols that interact with data transmission. Also networks and network terminology, including network interface cards and network operating system, how network are functioning. Also, we'll describe the architectures of networking, including topologies and strategies. Also, finally, we will discuss the organization issues related to internet technology and network security. So let's start our discussion about communication network. So what are communication network? Anyone can give a brief introduction about what is communication networks? Can anyone contribute with that? Just a few words about how communication is working in information technology.
For example, through cables and modem.
Yes, this is the material, but how they interact, what is the definition of communication network? What are the factors of communication network?
It's like a wide web, all connecting together.
Yes, through devices such as
Computers, laptops.
Yeah. Yes, mobile phones.
And servers communicate.
Exactly. So communication networks are the backbone of nearly every aspect of modern digital life. Even using your mobile phone is related to communication network. Using your wearable watch or smartwatch is related to communication networks. In the future, telepresence will be commonplace. What is telepresence? Is the ability to fully experience the reality of a different place without actually being there. For example, doctors will routinely perform surgery on patients located halfway around the world. I think this already happening. Anyone knows some hospitals that can perform telepresence? Anyone already had experience with that? Fortunately,
I don't know a hospital, but I saw it in a conference.
In a conference, it's communication. It's just like we are doing now, just communicating. Not you are fully acting like you are there, but in telepresence, you are fully can be in a different place. You can act for a function to do in a different place. Like in this example, doctors can perform surgery actually while they are in USA, for example, and they can perform surgery on a patient in Saudi Arabia, for example. So they are experience reality in a different place. So maybe in Saudi Arabia not yet performed any operation or surgery using telepresence yet, but maybe in future time, especially with surgery in heart and maybe part replacement, maybe they can do it through a robot. So they are connecting or communicating. Yes?
Isn't telepresence is just virtual reality with high-tech controllers?
Yes, you need high-tech controllers to be in actually.
But it's still virtual VR.
Sorry?
It's still virtual reality.
No, but the doctor moved the report and actually perform the real surgery in a different place. So the doctor moving his hand using technology in USA, for example, and there is a report in Saudi Arabia and Riyadh, for example, and the report is performing the surgery. So from a distance, the doctor is performing the surgery in actual life. There is some results that affect patient through the communication network. But in conference, for example, you only talk and listen, don't do any actions. So we live in a truly connected society as the power of and flexibility of our communication system have expanded. The sophistication of the networks that support them has become increasingly complex. So we need to understand the concept of connectivity, wireless networking, and the elements that make up a network and communication system, which we will explain next slide. So what is computer communication? Is the process of sharing data, programs, and information between two or more computers. There are many applications that depend on communication systems, such as email, texting, video conferencing, and electronic commerce. So all of these applications need a computer communication, need a communication network, need a communication system that this application can work. For example, email, as you said previously, that we have a server, so we have a mail server for depending on which company you are using. So while using the mail server, sorry, the guys who are did not mute their mic. Please mute your mic, because we cannot have a proper discussion now.
Lama, please mute your mic.
Is there any way to mute all?
You can mute an individual.
Which one is talking now?
Lama 1946. You can click the three dots and mute.
Okay. So we complete our discussion. So as I said, applications need a communication network to perform their functions. So let's talk about how this connectivity is going on. So connectivity is a concept related to using a computer or using computer networks to link people and resources. Resources like mail server or any computer that related or connected to the network and have the access to share the data. Also, there is another concept which is the wireless revolution, which is mobile devices like smartphones and tablets with wireless internet connectivity have brought dramatic changes to connectivity and communication. So wireless revolution started with mobile phones, then later on it developed to be in a wider use in information technology and used with modems. Today you have the wireless connection or satellite connection. So we have different communication systems, and they are the electronic systems, wired or wireless, that transmit data from one location to another. Let's talk about communication systems. Communication system has four basic elements. Elements that have the functions that connect communication system together. You have sending and receiving devices. You have the channel for the communication. Also, you have the connection devices, and data transmission specifications. Sending and receiving devices, the computers, devices, the end users, or the servers that send and receive messages in the form of data and information. These are the ones who are acting as sending and receiving devices. Communication channel is the actual connecting medium that carries the messages. This medium can be physical, like wire or wireless. Connection devices act as an interface between the sending and the receiving devices and the communication channel, which are modem or other devices. Example of them, a modem. Data transmission specifications, which are the rules and procedures that coordinate the sending and receiving device. So these specifications can control how the data is going to be sent, is going to be sent and received through the communication system. This is a picture of an example of communication system. You can see the sending device, the receiving device, the connection device, the message. So sometimes the sending device is a computer, normal computer to another computer. Sometimes you are dealing with the server if you are using a mail server, for example. Also, the communication channel, the black line, it can be a wireless, a wire. It differs, for example, between the computer and the modem. Can be a wireless connection, and between the modem and the different end, for example, in one company can be a wired connection, or maybe from a different place can be mixed between wired and wireless. These are basic elements of a communication system. Now we'll talk about communication channels. Communication channels carry data from one computer to another. There are two categories of communication channels, as we already explained: physical connection using wire and wireless connection. Physical connection uses a solid medium, wire or cable, to connect sending and receiving devices. While wireless connections do not use a solid substance to connect sending and receiving devices, they move data through the air. These are a type of physical connections, like twisted pair cable, coaxial cable. The yellow one is twisted pair cable. Coaxial cable used to deliver television signals to connect computers in a network. Fiber transmits data as pulses of light through tiny tubes, as you can see from the third picture. Wireless connection include a type of Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, microwave, WiMAX, cellular, satellite, infrared. Anyone can talk give a brief definition about one of these. Can go ahead and can contribute, please.
Yes, Mr. Mansour.
Yes.
I want to speak about the first one, Bluetooth.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. So Bluetooth used to be most popular around 10 years ago when we had those Nokia phones. You want to share media or some files between each other.
Yeah.
From a short range. It's not very wide. So you have to be close, and each one has to have his Bluetooth on to share files.
Yes, exactly. Like printers, handheld devices, all of these using Bluetooth. While Wi-Fi, most home and business wireless networks use Wi-Fi, like at home, at work, at the uni, at the mall sometimes. While microwave, maybe some of you heard of this term, used for sending data between buildings in a city or in a large college campus, is a line of sight communication. This type of wireless connection used in big universities or big companies that have different buildings and they need a wireless connection between these buildings. Also WiMAX. What is WiMAX? Anyone used WiMAX? Like STC WiMAX, mobile WiMAX. Anyone knows about it? Give a brief definition about WiMAX.
It's like Wi-Fi, but can cover cities, very wide ranges.
Okay. Yeah.
Router and WiMAX.
Yes, go ahead.
I don't understand WiMAX.
WiMAX is the extended range of Wi-Fi. So, for example, in STC and Mobile, they have their own WiMAX. If you have STC a contract or a SIM card, you can search about the nearest WiMAX to you. And sometimes if you have packet with STC, you can have unlimited connection to WiMAX, which is a wider range of Wi-Fi. So you can connect to internet that comes to you from far away, just maybe a few kilometers, but not like Wi-Fi, because Wi-Fi, I think maximum range is 100 meters or 200 meters, while WiMAX can cover 1 kilometer or 2 kilometer.
Okay, thank you.
Cellular, most cell phones and mobile devices use a cellular network. So the cellular is the connection between your mobile phone and the cell bridge or the telecommunication bridge. Satellite used for communications, TV, for example, radio, broadcasting, weather data collection, and GPS. This is a wireless connection. So the end user can connect directly to the satellite wirelessly. It is very expensive for individual, but for companies, sometimes it is commercial. Infrared used to communicate over short distance, such as TV remote, is a connection, wireless connection, and is a line of sight communication. Communication devices, telephones send and receive analog signal. So in mobile phones or telephone, they have devices embedded within the phone. These devices can transfer digital to analog and analog to digital. So they can connect wireless or wired, it depends. Computers send and receive digital signals. This is the language that computer can understand to convert the digital signals to analog signals, and vice versa. You need a modem. The modem is the most widely used connection device that modifies audio, video, and other type of data into a form that can be transmitted across the internet. So the modem basically is functioning like transferring from digital to analog and analog to digital, depending on the medium. The modem enables digital PCs to communicate across different media, including telephone wires, cable lines, and radio waves, wireless connection. So the medium can translate data signals through these connections. Network. So what is a network? We talked about communication system, how the communication consists of and how it works. Now we'll talk about the network itself. Computer network is a communication system that connects two or more computers together. So any two computers or more connected together is called a network connection. In a network, computers can exchange information and share resources. This is the basic definition of a network. Specialized terms in a network. In a network, you have different terms. Node, which is any device connected to a network, such as computer, printer, storage device, server. All of these are nodes. So a node can be called client, for example, can be called a server, and so on. So a client is a node that requests, which is function. His function is requesting and using resources available from other nodes. Server is also a node that shares resources with other nodes. Host is any computer system connected to a network that provides access to its resources. So a server can be given a host, can be sharing a resource. A router is a node also that forwards or routes data packets from one network to their destination in another network. So another node is called router. A switch is the central node that coordinates the flow of data by sending messages directly between sender and receiver nodes. We go previous to find out these nodes. So as you can see from the figure, all of these are nodes, but each node has different name. Some of them are client, some of them are hosts, some of them are server, some of them are router. As you can see, this is a router, and here are clients and servers. Also some clients here. If one client give or share resource, it will be called a host. Network types. Network types like LAN, WLAN, PAN, or PAN, MAN, WAN. All of these network types. Local area network, the first type of network, which is LAN, covers distance less than 1 mile, widely used in colleges, universities, and other type of organizations like small companies. All the network inside these organizations are called local area network. Home network, it is a LAN used in home, which is very small. It's smaller than LAN, but it's called home network. So once you use a network in your home, consists of 1, 2, 3, 4 computers, it will be called home network. Wireless LAN or WLAN is a wireless communication between devices used in homes or organizations. It is not recommended because of the security issue, but sometimes it is needed for small offices, small companies, for the cost of the infrastructure of information technology. Personal area network, PAN, works within a very small area, used, for example, to connect cell phones to headsets. Also another type of network, Metropolitan Area Network, or MAN, covers distance less than 100 miles. So it is like a bigger network, bigger than LAN, because LAN you can cover less than 1 mile. Here in Metropolitan Area Network can cover more than 100 miles, used to connect between office buildings located throughout the city. So used for big companies. So they have different offices can be connected together using MAN network in one city. So they can cover less than 100 miles. Wide area network, WAN, covers distance greater than 100 miles, used to connect between different cities. Internet is the largest WAN, so the biggest network type, or the largest network type, would be WAN, and used for a bigger company like, for example, Aramco, for example, or STC. These companies have different offices in different cities. Maybe other companies that have different offices in different country. So it covers more than 100 miles. And as you can see, the greater you have type of network, it will be cost. The cost will be inefficient for some companies. So it is the cost of these network types is related to how bigger is the company and how beneficiary is using this network. So for example, if someone wants to use a network in his house, for example, using a local area network would be very expensive, and it is better to use a home network without using the infrastructure of a LAN network. The second chapter will be about artificial intelligence. In this chapter, we will learn the understanding of intelligence and artificial intelligence, discussing some applications that use artificial intelligence. What is intelligence? Is a collection of different kind of skills working together. So to be intelligent, need to understand different skills and make them working together to get a result that can be called intelligent. We call programs intelligent if they exhibit behaviors that would be regarded intelligent if they were exhibited by human beings. So we call a program is intelligent if the program can give a result like a human being. So artificial intelligence, AI, is the study of techniques for solving hard problems in polynomial time by using knowledge about the problem domain. This is just a definition about AI, and how we call an application is AI application. Examples of AI search engines like Google search engine is AI application. Automated voice instructions from GPS. A voice recognition system in smartphones, for example, is AI application. Robotic surgery, the one we talked about previously, is AI. Though these programs are usually smarter than humans could be, they aren't perfect. Sometimes, like humans, they fail. Any other intelligent or AI applications? You can name or discuss their function that can be considered AI. Anyone can contribute to give an example of AI application? Very basic AI application. For example, LinkedIn application, web application. You can type your, put your CV, your interest of jobs, and you can have an automated notification in your email about jobs that related to your interest, and that is a AI, very basic AI application. Here is an example of artificial intelligence application. As you can see, Report is playing tennis table with a human being. You can have a look at the link in YouTube. Also, this is another artificial intelligent application. Robot can play music. We just finished the chapter for artificial intelligence, what is intelligence, and artificial intelligent AI. Now we'll talk about chapter 14, which is about big data. What is big data? The difference between big data and conventional data. Learn the 4 aspects of big data: volume, velocity, variety, and veracity. Discover the benefits and applications of big data. So what is big data? Is an all-inclusive term that refers to extremely large, very fast, highly diverse, and complex data that cannot be managed with traditional data management tools. So it is very large data, cannot be managed with normal data management tools. Big data includes all kinds of data. This is another complex of the big data. Have different type of data, also help deliver the right information to the right person in the right quantity at the right time to help make the right decisions. That which makes big data more complex than conventional data. This makes business grow bigger and generate more data. Big data is different from traditional data in many ways. This is the differences between big data and traditional data, conventional data. Volume of data. Traditional data is measured in gigabytes. The normal data you are measuring in your hard disk and your computer, your mobile phone is in gigabytes, terabytes sometimes. But big data is measured in petabyte, exabyte. 1 exabyte is equal to 1 million terabytes. You can imagine how big is the data. Velocity of data. Big data is generated by billions of devices and communicated at the speed of light through the internet. Variety of data. Big data is inclusive of all forms of data, all kinds of data, including text, graphs, map, audio, video, and others. Veracity of data. Veracity of data relates to the truthfulness, believability, and quality of data. So it is about the quality of data, how this data is qualified. With a poor quality, this poor quality of data can be from human error. If the big data have any poor quality of data, can be because of the human error, technical errors, or malicious attack or malicious internet. Big data is messy and need to be sifted and organized to be put for any great use. So it is a lot bigger topic, and just here, for you, just to understand what is the difference between big data and traditional data. How big is it? How complex is it? Applications of big data. There are 3 major types of big data applications. Monitoring and taking. For example, monitor machine performance in factories. Factories have a big data of monitoring their performance, tracking inventory, analysis and insight, predict the prevent crime, and better diagnose diseases. For example, analyzing the weather, so to predict the weathercast. New product development, for example, using big data to design a new product, such as reality TV entertainment. All of these related to analyzing big data to get a new product development. I think this is the last chapter. data analytics, or the wholeness of data analytics. In this chapter, we understand the business intelligence and the data mining cycle that brings the business and technologies elements together to deliver powerful business advantage. Also learn about business intelligence. That's why previously we talked about big data and intelligence AI to find the result of data analytics. Understand the data processing chain, which includes the entire life cycle of data, from data generation to its consumption. All about understanding the chain process of data. Learn in brief each of the components of the data processing chain. Also learn the components of this chain: data modeling, data warehousing, data mining, and data visualization, and how this analytics would affect any business. So all about business, data analytics. Business is the act of doing something productive to serve someone's needs, and thus earn a living and make the world a better place. So business activities are recorded on paper or using electronic media. These records become data, sometimes becomes big data. All this data or big data can be analyzed and mined using special tools and techniques to generate patterns and intelligence, which is reflect how business is functioning, which is data analytics. These ideas can then be fed back into the business to develop it, to develop the business and make the business more effective and efficient in serving customer needs. So the result of these analytics can help the business to become better business. The cycle continues all the time for the analytics and the results of the analytics. So data analytics, there is a BIDM cycle, which is referred to business generates data, B, data is mined, intelligence is fed back into business, business performed improves, more data is generated, and go back to the same cycle, BID. So it's always going in a cycle, BIDM. Let's start with the business, for example, as you can see here in the figure. Business generating data, the data is mined to produce insights and intelligence. Then after mining the data, it goes to intelligence. Business again improves to the business. Then more data is generated again, and so on. This is the cycle of BIDM. Business intelligence. Any business organization needs to monitor its environment and performance to adjust its future plans, all related to analytics, data analytics. Business intelligence is a set of information technology solutions to inform the business about things it should know or it should do in future to improve the business. Business intelligence also includes tools for gathering, analyzing, and presenting data. All these tools helping to perform a better business. So we move to data processing chain that can help the business to improve its result, its production, its finance. There is a sequence of steps to be followed to benefit from the data in a systemic way. We start with data is modeled and stored in a database. After the data is modeled and stored in a database, relevant data, only relevant data can be extracted. Other data cannot be extracted. So relevant data can be extracted according to certain analyzing purpose. It is related to the business purposes and stored in a data warehouse. So the data from the warehouse can be combined with other sources of data and mined to generate new sites. So this is data mining. After data mining, the insights need to be visualized and communicated to the right audience. So it is called data visualization. This is the data processing chain for any business. Everything that is recorded is data. This is the what is data. We should talked about this before we start the data analytics, but data generally, everything is recorded is data. Data can be of different types, such as nominal, unordered values like shades colors like red, green, blue, ordinal, ordered values like size, interval values like customer satisfaction in a specific scale, unstructured data, for example, like video, audio, image, and text. All of these are considered data. Database is a modeled collection of data. So you have a database for each type of data. So database is a modeled collection of data that is accessible in many ways. In database, data is organized in tables. Many database management or DBMS are available to help to store and manage data. So these DBMS can help applications to manipulate data, store, save, and work with the data. Example of commercial DBMs like Oracle, also open source DBMs like MySQL. So MySQL is open source, it's free for Oracle. You have to pay, companies using Oracle have to pay for that, while MySQL is open source. Data warehousing and mining. We already talked about what is a data warehouse and what is a data mining. Anyone can give a brief explanation about data warehouse, like the example we are talked about in data processing chain. We said relevant data can be extracted according to a certain analyzable purposes and stored in a data warehouse. So a data warehouse is an organized store of data from all over the organization, especially designed to help make management decisions. So only the data related to the business, to the organization, is stored in the data warehouse. Data is extracted from many sources, rolled up and transformed to meet business needs. Again, all about business, and then loaded into a data warehouse. So it is a chunk of data that related to the business. The data in a warehouse is at much less details than the transaction database. So less details of data in the warehouse compared to a transaction database. Once the data in a warehouse can be mined in many different ways and discover meaningful patterns. So in a warehouse, data in the warehouse can be managed to be discovered in meaningful patterns, only related data. Data mining is the art and science of discovering useful, novel patterns from data which help in solving problems. So data mining is the process of manipulating or dealing with the data from a warehouse so you can make a decision. You mine the data again to make a decision that will make the business efficient. Data visualization. Data visualization helps decision makers to understand data easily. It is basically just making the numbers, the data number, in a visualization aspect. Like the picture in front of you, you can see how the data is visualized in this type of graphs. You can see how many sum of amount in USD, for example, the UTD sales. You can see, can visualize the data, and it will help the business to understand how the data is increasing, how the data is affecting the decision. It can be done using graphs, dashboards, animations, different types of data visualization. We just finished. As you can see in the last chapter, we already talked about big data, communication, intelligent. So finally we went to big data, how the big data collected through the communication channels through an intelligent way. Then the big data have to be analyzed in a BIDM cycle, for example, for performing mining the data. Then also we have the data processing chain, how we produce the data warehouse, then the data mining, then finally the data visualization or data visualizing. That's it for today. Any question about our topic today? It is different than previous meetings. Today we talked a little bit about networking, about big data. Okay. Thank you very much for your listening, and any question related to the course, to the material, to the topics, send me an email. Any question related to the quiz, to the exams, to activities, please contact the BCC.
الله يعطيك العافية دكتور. Thank you.
You're welcome, and thank you very much for your listening. I already took the attendance. Anyone can leave now.
Thank you, Mr. Mansour.
السلام عليكم دكتور. يا دكتور
Alaikum salam. Any question? Yes?
دكتور لا بس أسأل ما في تحضير
I already took the attendance.
معلش ما سمعتك
It's all right. I download the list. You was in the lecture. I downloaded the attendance. Okay, no problem.
شكرا لك دكتور.
دكتور أنا كان عندي اختبار عشان كذا حضرت المحاضرة متأخر.
It's okay. I already took the attendance.
Thank you.